Tonight, we take you inside one of the most disturbing cases of recent years, a murder that didn't just make headlines, it dominated the national conversation. This was not an ordinary crime. It was a case that touched politics, media, and ordinary families, sparking fierce debates and conspiracy theories online. Before we continue, please click on the subscribe button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for subsequent stories. The victim was linked to high-profile figures, and the events leading to the murder exposed a network of power struggles, threats, and unanswered questions. Police investigators were forced to untangle a web of evidence that pointed in multiple directions, each one more shocking than the last. This is the Charlie Kirk murder case, a story filled with late-night phone calls, sealed court documents, mysterious witnesses, and a nation divided over what justice should look like. Tonight, we break down everything we know about the crime, the investigation, and the secrets still buried beneath the surface. Police sirens pierced the quiet night as multiple patrol cars pulled into the neighborhood. Officers stepped out, flashlights cutting through the darkness. Neighbors stood on their porches, whispering, phones in hand. Inside the house, chaos. Furniture overturned. A lamp shattered on the floor. Dark stains on the carpet hinted at a violent struggle. The air smelled of blood and broken glass. Detectives methodically moved through each room, photographing every detail: a broken picture frame, scattered documents, a phone with a cracked screen. Each item was tagged and bagged as evidence. Technicians dusted for fingerprints, while another officer carefully documented footprints leading from the back door toward the alley. The scene told a story of desperation and violence, but the full picture was still unclear. Who had been there? And why had this night turned deadly? When news broke that the name connected to this case was Charlie Kirk, the entire country went into overdrive. Charlie Kirk is not an unknown figure. He's a major conservative voice, the founder of Turning Point USA, and a daily presence on political talk shows and podcasts. His commentary reaches millions across social media platforms. For a man so deeply involved in public debate to suddenly be linked to a murder case was almost unthinkable. The story spread instantly, trending across every major network and online forum. But the question that dominated every headline was simple: what was his role? Was he a key witness with information no one else had? Was he a target, possibly the intended victim? Or was the unthinkable true? Was he being considered a suspect in a case that threatened to shake public trust and polarize an already divided nation? The uncertainty around his involvement created a media storm, with supporters rallying behind him and critics demanding answers. The pressure on investigators was immense, and the truth about his connection was about to become the central focus of a case that felt bigger than one single crime. Investigators worked tirelessly through the night, combing through every corner of the house and surrounding area. The first piece of evidence was a blood-stained letter found near the doorway, its contents partially smeared but still legible. The letter hinted at threats Charlie had received in the weeks before the incident, pointing to a possible motive. Nearby, detectives discovered a handgun carefully sealed in an evidence bag. Ballistics experts would later confirm it had been fired recently. The presence of the weapon suggested either a targeted attack or a staged scene designed to mislead investigators. The case quickly moved toward the courtroom. Prosecutors rushed to assemble charges while defense attorneys scrambled to build a strategy. Media crews camped outside the courthouse day and night, broadcasting every development. But before the first hearing could even begin, the story had already escaped the courtroom and taken on a life of its own online. Social media feeds exploded with speculation. Some posts claimed the case was part of a larger political conspiracy, alleging powerful figures wanted Charlie silenced for what he knew. Others called it an act of revenge, saying it was payback for years of public statements that divided opinion. Within hours, hashtags linked to the case trended worldwide. Fake news articles, blurry photos, and unverified documents circulated, fueling chaos. Supporters demanded justice. Critics said it was a staged event designed to distract the public. By the time the court date arrived, the real evidence was buried under a mountain of theories, memes, and viral videos. The truth was no longer simple. It was a puzzle everyone wanted to solve, but few agreed on where to start. In Part 2, the story moves from speculation to sworn testimony. The first witnesses step into the courtroom, and their statements begin to piece together a chilling timeline of events leading up to the murder. We'll break down every key testimony, including the neighbor who heard arguing hours before the attack, the friend who revealed private text messages that paint a darker picture of the victim's final days, and the forensic expert who explained how the weapon was used. You'll hear how prosecutors built their case, laying out motive and opportunity, and how the defense struck back, introducing evidence that caught even seasoned reporters by surprise. Then comes the moment that silenced the entire courtroom, a bombshell revelation that shifted suspicion, turned allies into suspects, and forced the jury to look at this case in a completely new way. This is where the Charlie Kirk murder case goes from tragedy to a battle for truth. Part 2 is where the secrets begin to unravel. Click on the subscribe button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for Part 2.